Good morning, I am Andrei Campiño Gudelo, and I'm gonna explain to you the comparative chart of world cities. Alright, today this video is being recorded on 20 of June of 2026. Alright, let's start with London. London has a larger population than Edinburgh and about 700,000 more people than New York. It is older and more history than New York and Sydney, and the culture is more diverse than in any other city of the list. Cultural advantage. London has the best free museums in the world. Public transport is faster and more efficient than Sydney and much more reliable than in New York. Cultural disadvantage of London. London is much more expensive than Edinburgh and slightly more expensive than Sydney. The weather is rainier than in New York, Sydney, and Edinburgh. Let's continue with New York. New York has a slightly smaller population than London, but it is still bigger than Sydney and much bigger than Edinburgh. It is the biggest and most fast-paced city of all. The lifestyle is more modern than in London and much more fast-paced than in Edinburgh. Cultural advantage offers the most exciting theater shows in the world, and it is liveler and more dynamic than London, Sydney, and Edinburgh. Cultural disadvantage New York is noisier and more crowded than Edinburgh and Sydney. Living spaces are smaller here than in London, Sydney, and Edinburgh. Continue with Sydney, has a smaller population than London and New York, but it is much larger than Edinburgh. The culture is the most relaxed and the most beach-oriented of all cities. Sydney has the warmest weather and the most beautiful beaches. Outdoor life is healthier and better for physical and mental well-being than in New York. Cultural disadvantage. Sydney is the farthest city, so it is complicated to get flights and more expensive and more difficult. Edinburgh has by far the smallest population, with less than one tenth of London's population. It is smaller, quieter, and more traditional than the other cities. Cultural advantage for Edinburgh. Edinburgh is safer and cheaper than London, New York, and Sydney. Local people are friendlier and more welcoming than in the bigger cities. Cultural disadvantage. Winter is colder than and darker than in Sydney and much colder than in New York and London. Days are also shorter in winter. Overall summary. Overall, New York is the most exciting city because it has the most energy, the biggest entertainment options, and the fastest lifestyle. Edinburgh is the calmest and the most peaceful thanks to its smaller size, its safety, and its friendly atmosphere. Personally, I prefer Sydney because it is the most beautiful and the most relaxing and has the best weather and the healthiest outdoor lifestyle of all of them. Thank you very much.